How's it going, guys? It is David Clayton from KZR Racing once again, and welcome back to my F1 23 My Team Career Road for round number 2 at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix of Season 1. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel. The playlist will be there along with all the other episodes. Pretty good race from the Bahrain GP with everything that's gone on. If you did miss the last episode, spoiler alert, we got P12 on our first time out, being chased all the way by Oscar Piastri. But for now, heading into the Saudi GP on the activity timeline, we've got a few choices, but we've gone for the first one to be the team activities department. Then we've gone for a marketing conference, and also two things on the driver activity and the driver training for our second driver. In regards to the upgrades, we're still waiting for the cable assembly. That should be here for the chassis weight reduction soon. But we have got enough resource points to now start the minor rear downforce upgrade for the rear downforce. So that will be here in between Saudi and Australia. That's as quick as that one can get here. Now, I did go through to see if I can get the next one for the weight redistribution, but unfortunately I forgot, because I haven't got the facility upgrades yet. I can't do that until the cable assembly gets through, which it has done now. So now, with the cable assembly done, I can go into the chassis, and with the points I've got, I have the option of tyre wear now, but I am going with the weight redistribution upgrade. That should get in just before the Australia Grand Prix, so hopefully we get two upgrades before the next Grand Prix. Hoping so, but we're going to go straight into. We've done all the practice programs, everything that all went by fairly well. We're going to go straight into our Q1 of qualifying towards the end of our first run. Felt pretty good in the car, actually. Jeddah was a lot better to drive this season and this game than it was last year. There was none of that horrible understeer, and it's going to show up right now, because we come across the line for our lap in Q1, and it's P6. Now, that surprised me greatly, and as we skipped through, that was the only lap we did, and it was still good enough for P10. Now, that surprised me greatly. I felt a lot better in the car, thanks to the handling model. There was none of that understeer, and it was easy to modulate the throttle through the faster sections. But it was really, really odd to be that high up. So we go into Q2, and our first lap we set on the set that we used in Q1. We got P13, which was more what I was expecting, but that's P13 on a set of scrubbed tyres. And we go for our second run towards the end of the session, but with the yellow flags, we're catching up to a whole load of cars that were slowing down, letting each other through. One of them being the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. I was hoping that these guys were going to pull into the pit lane, but they do not. And unfortunately, as we get later on into the start of our flying lap, Magnussen is just so slow on the apex. I caught up so quickly in the brake zone, and I just get flustered throughout the remainder of this section, and I just abort the lap. There was no point in continuing that lap. It was already ruined catching up to Magnussen as quickly as I did. So, yeah, unfortunately, that was a downfall of my own doing there. So P13 on the grid. It's not bad for our first foray in Saudi on this new handling model. So for now, we've got a good chance to at least challenge the top 10 for some points, or the best thing we can do is hopefully finish better than what we did last year, or the same as last race in Australia. But for now, let's just get to the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Stroll, Bottas, Gasly, Davidson, Albon, Joe, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Oscar Piastri, Drugovich, Oscar Piastri. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Anthony Davidson alongside me, as always, to talk you through the action. Now, let's talk about Charles Leclerc.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? I'm also looking forward to seeing the different strategies in play today. Those who are starting on the red marked soft tyre are going to have a little bit more grip early on, but they have to make it count before that degradation starts to set in.
Yeah, the game's still glitching out on the qualification recap. They said that Nick de Vries was Piastri as well. But not going to be too clever on the tyre strategy again. We've gone for the medium to soft tyre, the soft to medium tyre strategy, and gone a little bit lighter on the fuel. Jeddah's not known for high tyre wear, so this should be pretty easy strategy to cope with, providing there's no safety cars or whatnot. That can probably throw a wrench into the plans of most of the teams. But it's going to be interesting off the start. Leclerc got pole and he's starting on the mediums. Again, the top 10, a nice mix of tyre strategies. Some are going for the aggressive final stint as opposed to the rest of us. But as for us, we've got a good position, P13, fresh set of soft tyres. We've got plenty of those as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what we can do off the start. We are on the outside line, going towards turn 1, but the nature of turns 1 and 2, it's going to be a little bit more tricky to negotiate if we go that route. But we'll have to see as the last few cars take their places on the grid. And without any further ado, we are now going to go to 5 red lights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Round number 2 of the season. 5 red lights are out and we are underway. We got a much better start than we did in Bahrain. Ocon's had a shocker and we squeeze in between him and the wall. Gasly shoots past. We're going to go around the outside and now there's a yellow flag. There's a car. Oh, everything's going on. We've just got a punch. Carlos Sainz is out the session. We've hit our rear tyre on some debris and the red flag has come out immediately after the incident with Carlos Sainz, and that saved us big time because we picked up a left rear puncture and it involved Carlos Sainz. We're going to get on board for his start. He gets away pretty well. Leclerc's had a shocker ahead. The Red Bulls get on side, but Carlos Sainz has trumped both of them. 4 wide into turn 1, and Verstappen pinches him into the pit wall there on the inside, and that's just caused him to shear his tyre off. We're going to get an on board from Verstappen. He gets a much better start on the soft tyres compared to Leclerc's mediums, and it's 4 wide because Perez is right on the outside, and Max Verstappen unceremoniously shoves Sainz out of the way after that. But it's as you can see from here, we just go over the debris there, and it just caused a puncture to the left rear. But thankfully, the red flag came out when it did, and that's going to give us free choice here. Now, I did play around with the strategy, but as you can see, if we went on the mediums, it suggested another like so on so 2 stop, but it seemed more beneficial to go on hard tyres and try and go to the end. So that's what we're going to try and do here, and hopefully, if some other drivers are on the mediums and do this quote unquote 2 stop, it will give us a bit more of a chance. But here we go again for take 2. 5 red lights to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights are out, and we are underway again from P5 on the grid from where we were at the red flag. And the Red Bull Perez has had a shocker of a start. He's dropped back. We've got him off the line. We haven't looked down the inside of Verstappen, but we think better of it. We don't want to get into an early tussle straight away and cause another incident. But P4 off the start. Perez had an absolute shocking getaway off the 5 red lights there, and now we're going to follow. We're now going to follow through in P4, Max Verstappen, as we go through the snaky first part of the lap, and it's now just going to be about settling into the groove. Although going wide on the exit of that section does not help matters, and Perez is going to have a look around the outside into the first hairpin at the bottom half of the circuit, and he's going to hang it round the outside, which he will do on the better medium tyre compared to our hards. We don't really fight that too hard, knowing that. We just let him go. We don't want to. We're in a good position as it is right now, even if we quite happily take finishing like this. I will not complain with a 5th place and just that 2nd race on this new My Team career mode. But as you can see now, we've got the entire horde after us through the 2nd sector as we head now under the hotel towards the start of the final sector, towards the final corner. It's going to be, this is going to be some story of our race, I feel. It's literally just going to be us holding off the field. And now we've got the Alpine of Ocon trying to look around the outside, but we hold our nerve to the inside and force him to go the long way round and squeeze out on the exit. And we're not going to have any of that today so far, especially early on in the race. But the Red Bulls ahead, they're both on the medium tyres, so maybe, just maybe, we're going to have a bit of action later on, like right now, as Lewis Hamilton is challenging for the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix around the outside at the hairpin, and he's kept his foot in. They're side by side with Leclerc down the main straight. No DRS yet, so this is just Ferrari versus Mercedes power unit, and now side by side into turns 1 and 2. Lewis is going to hold it through on the inside as he does, but Leclerc is going to have the better line on the exit in turn 2 right there, and just holds off the 7-time world champion through that section. But it's not that's going on, because obviously squeezing out Ocon has left him to attack, susceptible to attack from Alonso and his teammate Gasly 3 wide through turn 1. Ocon gets pinched into the apex of turn 2, and the biggest winner of that is Fernando Alonso. He gets both Alpines in 2 corners. The old lion's still got it, as it turns out. He's 42 years old, look, Fernando Alonso, and he's still driving like a man in his late 20s. But now, cutting back to our POV, onto the end of lap 4, into the final corner, we've caught up to Perez. A little bit squirrely on the exit there, trying to get the power down to try and get close up to him, but we are in the slipstream of the Red Bull. The Red Bull is really, really slow. I don't know if Perez has got a problem. There hasn't been anything on the team radio, but we're not going to look at. Oh no, we just made contact with his left rail. I was going to say we're not going to look this gift horse in the mouth, but we got a bit of contact with Perez. I think he turned in to turn 2, not expecting us to still be there on the inside, but we just managed to keep it in there. But unfortunately, that little bit of contact has cost us a little bit of track position there, as now we're being chased down by Alonso. We've never been good. I haven't really been good through that first part of the lap there. That's not really been my strong suit there. The AI always had me through there, but throughout the second part of the lap, heading up towards the hairpin and onto the main straight, I've always seemed to have a little bit of good traction here, but with DRS and ERS on the go, we got the slipstream, and this is going to be an easy slam dunk on Perez. We get past him clean before we get to the first corner, and that is going to be us taking it very easily to turns 1 and 2, just to make sure we don't lose traction. But yeah, no, that's turns 1 and 2. I've always seemed to have the edge on the traction zone there, but as we were fighting Perez, this is Alexander Albon. He's caught up to the 2 Alpines and Stroll, and he's going to make it 3 wide with Gasly and Stroll, I believe that is. No, Ocon and Stroll, sorry. And he's going to go round the outside of turn 2 on both of them. Fantastic stuff from Albon. The Thai Brit driver is on form tonight, it seems, and he's already looking at the back of Pierre Gasly. And I fancy his chances here. He seems to be, that Williams seems to be working really well for him around Jeddah. Not such a downforce reliant circuit. But now, back to our POV. We are really struggling, and we are coming under attack from Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez. Albon and Gasly not lurking in the background there, and Albon has actually overtaken Gasly. So he's not going on. I've been losing pace, and now I know why. It never came up, but look at my front wing. The left-hand side is a light green compared to the other side. I've picked that up from somewhere, and I don't know where, and I've been really, really struggling. I've lost all sorts of time to all the guys behind me. And look, I've been swarmed by a combination of Perez, Alonso, Albon and Gasly, and all of them have got DRS and chasing me down, and Perez is going to try and go for a move around the outside, but we're just going to brake late enough and get enough of the turn in on the hairpin to keep the move, but it's only going to be a matter of time. We're going to try and defend as best we can. We're going to move towards the inside of the track and make them go the long way round again and defend ourselves, but it doesn't matter! Because our Renault engine, has done the most French thing possible. It has gone on strike and had a smoke, and now, oh no, we've clattered Albon as well. We tried to let all the cars through, but Albon has clattered into us and has lost his front wing. Oh no! So that's it. That's our race done. After just 8 laps on the circuit, we are out of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix.
Drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win? Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance.
Yep, Charles Leclerc, thanks to several things going on behind him. The Red Bulls didn't have the pace, but also Verstappen had a 5-second penalty after that incident with Sainz on the first start, and that's allowed the Monegasque driver to take the win, with Lewis Hamilton second and Fernando Alonso catching up to Verstappen and, well, not overtaking him. I think Verstappen's finished in third technically, but with his 5-second penalty, that dropped him to behind not only Alonso, but his teammate Perez. So both Red Bulls, who scored a 1-2, didn't finish on the podium this time. And as you can see, we DNF'd and Felipe Drugovich was only a place ahead of us. But yeah, that is a massive disappointment there. But that race, I can't complain. That race was a really good one. Really good up until that point, and it had everything. But for now, guys, if you did enjoy the episode, it being a short one, do feel free to leave a like and share this video around. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of those videos. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and I will see you next time for the Australian Grand Prix. Goodbye.